The Russia-Ukraine conflict and the subsequent sanctions have had a significant impact on the European economy. The conflict has caused a sharp decline in trade between Europe and Russia, which has had a ripple effect throughout the entire region. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush. Let's begin. The sanctions imposed by both sides have exacerbated the situation, leading to significant economic hardship for European companies. The impact of the conflict on the European economy is evident in the numbers. Prior to the conflict, Russia was one of Europe's largest trading partners. European companies relied heavily on the Russian market for exports, and Russia relied on Europe for imports. The two sides engaged in billions of dollars worth of trade each year. However, since the conflict began, the trade between Europe and Russia has plummeted, with European companies losing access to a key market and Russia turning to other countries to meet its needs. The sanctions planned by the Americans and imposed by both sides have only made the situation worse. The European Union has imposed sanctions on Russia in response to its actions in Ukraine, and Russia has retaliated with its own sanctions. These sanctions have had a significant impact on the European economy, as companies find it increasingly difficult to do business with Russia and other countries that have been impacted by the conflict. The economic impact of the conflict and the sanctions has been felt throughout the European economy. The decline in the trade has led to significant job losses in the industry that rely on exports such as manufacturing, agriculture, and automotive. The loss of access to the Russian market has also had a rippling effect on other industries such as banking and finance. Many companies have had to write off significant losses due to the economic turmoil caused by the conflict. Such economic turmoil in Europe is precisely what the Biden administration would have wanted. The Biden administration has been actively trying to incentivize companies to move out of Europe and into the US by offering subsidies and other forms of support. This move is said to be part of the administration's broader efforts to strengthen the US economy and create jobs in the United States. One of the main ways in which the Biden administration is incentivizing companies to move to the United States is through the use of subsidies in the form of acts like the Inflation Reduction Act. This is the third piece of legislation passed since late 2021 that seeks to improve US economic competitiveness, innovation, and industrial productivity. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and CHIPS and Science Act and IRA have partially overlapping priorities and together produce $2 trillion in new federal spending over the next 10 years. The Biden administration is also proposing to provide financial support to European companies that move their operations to the United States. This support would come in the form of grants and loans that would help cover the cost of relocation, such as the cost associated with building new factories or hiring new workers. Additionally, the US has proposed to make available to the companies funds for worker training and reskilling programs to ensure they have the necessary skills to work in the new factories. Another way in which the Biden administration is incentivizing companies to move to the United States is through the use of regulatory reform. The administration has proposed to streamline the regulatory process for companies that relocate to the states, making it easier for them to obtain permits and comply with the regulations. This regulatory reform is intended to reduce the costs and barriers associated with relocating, making the states a more attractive destination for the companies. The timing of such moves on Biden's part could not be better, as European companies are increasingly looking to move out of the region in response to the economic turmoil caused by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The promise of subsidies and other forms of support from the US government is likely to be very attractive to these companies, as it offers them a way to offset some of the losses they are experiencing in Europe. This economic blitzkrieg on Biden's part is already starting to show results, with companies like Volkswagen hinting that they may move some of their operations to the United States. According to recent reports, the German vehicle manufacturer is considering building a battery plant in the US because it could receive $10 billion in subsidies from the IRA. Volkswagen is waiting on Europe's response to the IRA before making a final decision. But a new plant in the United States would give American workers jobs and signal interest among foreign companies to manufacture in the US. This would be a significant blow to the European economy, as Volkswagen is one of the largest companies in the region and a major employer. The efforts by the Biden administration to incentivize companies in Europe to move to the United States will have significant ramifications for the European economy. If a large number of companies were to relocate to the United States, it could result in a loss of jobs, investment, and economic growth in Europe. One of the potential risks for Europe is that this shift in investment could result in a loss of strategic industries and capabilities. For example, if a large number of high-tech companies were to relocate to the States, Europe could lose its competitive advantage in these sectors. Similarly, if companies in key industries like automotive manufacturing were to move to the States, it could result in a significant loss of jobs and economic activity in Europe. Another potential risk for Europe is that this shift in investment could create a negative cycle where the loss of jobs and investment leads to a decline in consumer demand and economic progress. If companies move to the US, they may take their consumers with them, resulting in a further decline in economic activity in Europe. Moreover, the potential move of European companies to the United States could have significant implications for the global economy as a whole. Europe has long been a major player in the global economy, and a significant shift in economic power could have ripple effects throughout the world. If European companies begin to move their operations to the States, this could lead to the consolidation of economic power in the US, which could have significant geopolitical implications. Therefore, it remains to be seen how many companies will actually take up offer of subsidies and other incentives to move to the US, but it is clear that this is a major policy ploy by the Biden administration that could have significant consequences for both Europe and the global economy.